Hi, my name is Joanna, and I am 26 years old.
Me llamo Nelly, and I'm 21.
I'm Andrea, and I'm also 21. I'm usually a media person, so I'm usually back there with you guys, but today I'm up here. Showing my face.
I sing.
I sing too. We met in 2016. We met. You guys met when?
We met when we were 10 in church. And then in 2016, Joanna came to our church, and that's where we met her.
Yeah, and then we met her.
Okay, so Joanna knew them 8 years before she met us, so 2008 in California. So when they went to Albuquerque in 2017, the tias messaged Joanna saying if we wanted to go see them at a service. So we went, but we got there super mega late.
Mm-hmm.
Like the music, we already heard it.
Like we were about to leave.
We were about to leave.
Yeah, we wanted to
were just
leave.
so like, oh, I want to go inside. But we ended up going inside and meeting you guys, and now here we are.
I am married to Ryan, and he's the bass player.
So, if not a lot of people know, but most of them do, they're twins. Here's a picture
You're
of them.
not the same person. I've had someone ask me if we're sharing boyfriends. We're not.
So, this is Aaron, and he's my husband.
And this is Andrew. He plays the guitar. And we're married.
Well, it was definitely hard because, you grow up in this regular life, normal life. Your parents have a job. Once you're older, you have a job, and it's just like a routine kind of thing, and, you're pretty much secure. But once you transition into this full-time ministry lifestyle, it totally changes everything in your perspective. But it's a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Like she's saying, it's a completely different lifestyle and everything changes. But I guess for me, I'll say one of the biggest changes, I'll say ministry-wise. I've always been in ministry since I was little in church and as I grew older. One of the biggest changes for me was definitely ministering to people. You're used to going to your home church all the time, and you know everybody there, you know who they are. And now doing this, we get to experience something that perhaps I never knew, and you get to meet new, different people all the time. And you somehow, with the couple hours you have there, you have to show them God's love, and throughout that to be able to leave an impact in their lives. So I think for me that's one of the biggest changes of being here now.
Yeah. I would probably say the same thing. We all grew up in church, so you go to your home church, you have your job that you do there, you know everybody, you have your daily routine, and you know that Sunday we do this, Tuesday we do that, Thursday we do this. And this other way, it's just a complete 180 of that job, because you get to see this whole other perspective and aspect of what ministry is. Because although this one is very important, you don't even see that there's this whole other life that is also very much needed, and that God has also placed to work together. Mm-hmm. So I think transitioning from day-to-day routine to now over here, where like Joanna said, it's different every day. I think that's really cool to see how God is in both.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing that I love to do, I wish I could do more, is baking. I really like to bake stuff, cinnamon rolls. And then I also like to paint. It's a little bit harder to do on the road, but yeah, I've been picking it up again, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I have no artistic skills. But what I do love to do is talk. So I guess when I have extra time, when there's spare time, my favorite thing to do is go sit at a coffee shop, Starbucks, Pete's, whatever. I like to sit there and just talk our lives away. I can go for it. for hours. So
yeah, I like my alone time. That never changes. That's my time. The hardest part about being in the ministry for me would be on the side of church. When we go to churches, it's more of the rejection side, because you're used to being in a church your whole life and you know how things go and you know things are good. But once you go and minister to different people and different characters, personalities, it's their way. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's hard, because you get put in this little box and you get rejected for things that you know God can do more, but you're being rejected, like you're being limited pretty much. So
one of the hardest things for me, now being here in the ministry, is definitely just a different schedule. Back home, I was used to, you get up, you go to work, go to school, whatever you do, and then it's this routine. Here, it's almost the same thing, but it's a very different schedule. We have churches, we have churches that are far, churches that are close. We have a lot of stuff to we have a lot of equipment and all. And it's funny because a lot of times my mom calls me like at 12 and I'm still asleep, and she's like, get up, and I'm like, I got home like at 1. I'm just kidding. No, but for real, it's like it's a different schedule.
Yeah.
But definitely one of the main things that's hard being here is just being away from my home, being away from, I guess I'll just say my family, because this is home now, but I guess it's just one of the hardest things, I'll say.
Yeah, I would probably agree with all of that, it's hard. You're used to seeing your parents every day, you're used to your routine at home, and now we're here and all I have is a phone call, which, that's probably one of the harder things, that I can't see their face every day. Another thing, the schedule part, because that was probably the hardest thing for me to adjust to, was getting up on a Sunday and like before the sun even comes up and just like, I have to put my makeup on. And then it's like 7 a.m. and you're like taking out these heavy things and you're just like, I remember at home I'd have to wake up till 9. So that was probably really hard, but yeah, nothing too crazy. I think for me, which I think Nelly would probably agree to, is, over these past couple years, my family has been struggling a lot. And before meeting the family, it was pretty bad. It's not like this perfect family that you can, put in a frame and everything's so perfect and you have the mother and father, right? So just seeing the impact of seeing you guys and seeing how God can move through a family and restore a family, and how that impacted me and inspired me. And now, on this other hand, seeing how we as a family can inspire others and how other families are now, having that hope. I think that's probably the best part, that what I felt inside of myself, I now can see it in other people too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like she's saying, it's awesome that this is what we're doing. We preach and we share that God wants to restore families, and it just happens to be that, I come from a broken family. So the fact that God placed me here, it's because he knew what my life could be and what my testimony could be doing this. And honestly, the best thing is having people come up to you sometimes, or even text you afterwards, send you a message on Facebook, and they're like, thank you so much for coming to my church. I needed to hear that. My family's going through this. So I think it always reminds you this is why we're doing what we do. So.
My thing has always been fellowship. I love meeting new people, especially when they're super cool. You know who you are. No, but I love meeting new people, and I could agree with them on the family. I like how we all do teamwork, because that's what it's about. Family is about working together, and that's what I like when we just get together and just have coffee. It can be anything.
I already have John's. Girly, sassy, and girly.
girly.
You have hers?
I have responsible, because in all 30 years of knowing each other, she's always been the more responsible one. I'm like, and Nelly's the one getting me up and come on, we gotta go. I'm like, so responsible. I think for sure sassy too.
Andres, I'm gonna say, is that the right word? I want to say like fearless, because she's somebody who like, let's do it, and she'll go on and like do it. I'll say caring. And third, sleepy. Everybody knows that I can sleep. And Joanna, she's brave. You know, you put her to something and she'll do it. I'll say girly, because Joanna's always been girly.
No se te nota with the pink beanie.
She's girly. And one more, she's very supportive with whatever you want to talk to her about, whatever you got going on. Like, she'll go and, you know, support you with it, so.
She's a nice person. She's nice. She is patient and strong. Because I've seen you through a lot. She's strong, guys.
Dang, look at these muscles.
Andrea, I would just, okay, in a funny way, she's very awkward at times, which I love because it just makes me laugh, right? Caring. I would say caring and patient.
I mean, it's not one funny moment, it's a lot of them, because one of my favorite times being at home is just hanging out, and then they start like arguing like novelas out of nowhere, and you just have them yelling at each other, and I'm just like, I'm always eating something. So I remember one time I was eating Wendy's, and another time I'm eating ice cream, and then they just start going off, and Joanna's signature was always
That's true!
with her little finger, and then there's Nelly, y tú con tus pestañas.
Don't break the boys at me. No. No. ¡Cállate! ¡Grites! ¡Cállate! ¡No me grites!
By the way, we would mess around. We weren't little.
Oh yeah,
We were playing.
But that's what's funny. It's just randomly. It was entertaining.
She had her own car, so it was like a little blue car. And my mom used to live like in this uphill thing. So I remember, and I was the one driving her car, and I'm driving, and it's barely going up the hill, and suddenly it gave up, and it was really late. So we end up like parking to the side. We're calling our friends so they can pick us up. Joanna never picked up. Point is, we end up getting home, so we're like, okay, early in the morning we'll go get the car. By the morning we go, and the car's gone, so it got towed. So I remember that being funny.
The whole time I'm just thinking, my dad's gonna kill me. It was fun.
It was funny. She has a dog, and his name's Raiko, and he's like bigger. And we had left because we had like a youth conference. We come back, and all the brushes were on the floor, and they were all bitten. And I just remember us laughing, and she was yelling at Raiko. We were like almost crying, but that was funny.
He died. Just kidding.
He's not dead.
He's with my dad, guys. He's safe.
I was like, really?
No. Well, with Nelly, my thing with her was she's so easy to scare. So easy. And it's so fun for me to scare her. In particular. There was one time I was like, okay, I'm leaving, guys. Oh yeah, and then I was like, I'll wait for you in the car. So then I got out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna scare her so good. So then I was like in the corner of the garage.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. So I texted her, hey, I'm ready, let's go. So then she comes out, and then I scare her, and she drops to the ground. Like, she's like, ah. Yeah, that's funny. It's always scare her. It's fun.
Scare her.
Scare her.
I think for me there wasn't one defining moment that, oh, okay, God, this is it, right? It wasn't one like, whoa, now my eyes are open. It was a process because, you grow up in church and you go to like your little kid class and you grow up hearing all these things about God and you believe in it and, oh, okay, cool, there's this amazing God out there that loves me. And then you start growing up and you start living through your own hardships and your own struggles. And then through all of these little experiences, you start seeing God. And whoa, that thing that they told me about, I see it and I feel it and He's here with me. And it wasn't just, like I said, it wasn't this big major revelation. It was just seeing God that to the point where it was undeniable, that you can't even walk away from it because it's just so tangible in your life. And I think it's the accumulation of all those moments and all those hardships and all those experiences with him that you can't even deny it. You can't fathom ever living without him.
I grew up in the church. You are told about God all your life. You know who God is. You know what they say, that you have to go to bed and you have to pray to him. And I grew up with that. But to really have a relationship with him was a whole different experience. And I think for me, it came when perhaps I had nothing else to believe in than just him, who I was always reminded of. And like she's saying, you go through your own hardships, you go through your own difficulties, that then you ask yourself, like, this is when you most need to seek him. Or at least that's what I did. I remember being in situations where I didn't know the answers to, I didn't know this or that. And that's where I think he showed his faithfulness to me the most, when you least expected it. And the fact that I'm here today, it shows me that God showed me that. And I was always reminded of, he was there with me and he had a purpose for my life. And even to this day, I am never fully filled up by him. I'm never fully where I need to be. So I think that's just what it is, always trusting in him and just knowing that he's taking us so much more further.
Personally, for me, when it all changed was when I was 14 and a half, I decided to get baptized. And then when I turned 15, I finally did it. So after that, I feel like my perspective of God changed. I started feeling a little different. And I don't know, I would have encounters with God in my room or in church, but there was one time after that I was in my room and I was listening to a worship song and I had it on blast. I was like, whatever. And then I just felt God touch me, and then I just fell to the ground, and there I was in my room, laying there. But after that, I feel like that's what changed in my life. Like, it just made everything more clear. Yeah. I feel like since that time I had my experience, it's always been my staple. It is Isaiah 40:29, and I only know it in Spanish. So, Él da esfuerzo al cansado y multiplica las fuerzas al que no tiene ninguna. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like he promises that he will provide the strength when you have no strength.
So my favorite verse has been the same for like years. And I think it grew the same like Joanna at a point in my life where I started connecting more with the Lord and seeking more of him. This verse would always speak to me differently. It's very short. It's in Psalms, and it's delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And I repeat it a lot, but I think what it helped so much in my life is that as a young girl, you are told so many different things all the time, but it's always like, believe in your heart and let your heart guide you. But, reading this verse, it just says, like, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And it's like, it's crazy to me to think, like, God cares so much of us that whatever you feel in your heart, that's what matters to him, what you feel. But then yet it reminds you, seek me first. Seek who I am. Seek my kingdom. And all these things will just come to you. And the beauty that he knows what we need, I think that's just what makes it all complete. So
okay, so the first one is in the book of Psalms 8:3. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings that you care for them. It's just when you really look at the words, it blows my mind that his fingers, his hands put up the moon and the stars, and yet he cares for us. He loves us so much, and you see it throughout the Bible, just act of love after act of love after act of love. And it's true, what even are we? We're so insignificant, yet we're everything to him. And I think that's a verse that I like to keep in mind, when you feel unworthy, you feel that you're not doing enough. He loves you enough to care about you.
Thank you guys for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, just give it a like. It really helps us out. And just keep an eye out for videos just like this one where we talk about family, life, and ministry. I hope to see you there soon. Thank you and God bless.